Welcome to Grand Deck Getaway. Before we dive into the incredible world of cruising, let's clear something up. You've probably heard people say cruises are too expensive. You get seasick the entire time, or that cruise ships are boring floating hotels meant only for retirees. But what if I told you that most of what you think you know about cruising is completely wrong? In fact, these common myths stop thousands of people every year from experiencing one of the easiest, most relaxing, and most surprisingly affordable vacations out there. So in today's video, we're breaking down the top 5 myths about cruising and debunking them for good. Whether you're a first-timer who's nervous to book your trip, someone who's been scared off by stories that simply aren't true, or even a past cruiser who wants a reality check, this guide is going to completely change the way you look at cruise travel. Because once you understand the truth behind these myths and why people still believe them, you LLC cruising in a whole new light. Picture this: amazing food that's already included, entertainment that rivals major cities, destinations you get to wake up to every morning, and an experience that's way more comfortable and modern than most people imagine. And by the end of this video, you'll be armed with insider knowledge and practical tips that can help you plan smarter, save money, and cruise with total confidence. So if you're ready to discover what cruising is really like and why these myths need to disappear forever, then let's jump right into it. Myth 1 tilde, one of the biggest myths floating around about cruising, is the idea that cruises are outrageously expensive, and that only wealthy people or retirees with big budgets can afford to go on one. This belief has stuck around for years because people tend to picture those massive luxury ships with suite balconies, private butlers, premium dining, and exclusive experiences. And yes, those options do exist, and they're incredible if you choose to splurge. But what many people don't realize is that the majority of cruises are priced to be surprisingly affordable. It's often cheaper than land vacations when you compare what's actually included. When you book a cruise, you're paying for your accommodation, your meals, entertainment, transportation between destinations, and sometimes even activities all wrapped into one price. If you try to replicate that on land with hotels, restaurants, taxis, shows, and excursions, the cost would skyrocket. That's why many first-time cruisers are shocked to discover that they can take a 7-day cruise for less than the cost of staying at a decent hotel for the same amount of time. Another reason people believe this myth is that they see certain prices online during peak times holidays, summer break or spring break, when demand is high and everything costs more. But cruises are incredibly dynamic when it comes to pricing. If you're flexible, patient, and know when to look, you can find deals that seem almost unreal. Off-season months like early December, January, February, and parts of the fall often offer deeply discounted fares. And don't forget last-minute deals, repositioning cruises, and offers from cruise lines that throw in bonuses like onboard credit, free drink packages, or discounted excursions. Many families also don't realize that kids can sometimes sail for dramatically reduced rates, and occasionally even free with certain promotions. The truth is, cruises offer tremendous value because of how much they bundle together. Entertainment alone is a huge example. Broadway-level shows, comedy acts, live music, themed parties, and poolside events inland. You'd pay separately for each of these. But on a cruise, you can enjoy them every single day without opening your wallet. Dining is another thing people underestimate. Specialty restaurants cost extra, but the included dining rooms, buffets, pizzerias, cafes, and snack spots offer more than enough variety and quality to satisfy anyone. The best insider tip is to start by comparing a cruise fare to the cost of a land trip. Make a list: transportation, hotel, meals, entertainment, and daily spending. When people actually do the math, cruising almost always wins. So no, cruising isn't just for people with deep pockets. It's one of the most flexible, value-packed ways to travel, and that's exactly why millions of people choose it every year. Tilde. Myth 2. Tilde, another myth that stops people from cruising, is the belief that everyone gets seasick. For many first-time travelers, the idea of being on a ship in the middle of the ocean brings up images of rocking back and forth, feeling dizzy or getting nauseous. This fear usually comes from stories told by older generations, movies that exaggerate stormy seas, or memories of tiny boats bouncing around on rough water. But modern cruise ships are nothing like small boats. Today's ships are massive, stable, and built with advanced technology specifically designed to minimize movement. In fact, the stabilizers on modern ships can reduce motion to the point where most passengers forget they even at sea. The truth is, seasickness does happen, but not to everyone, and not nearly as often as people think. Most travelers experience nothing more than gentle movement, like being in a car or on a train. And for those who are more sensitive, there are dozens of simple ways to avoid feeling uncomfortable. One of the easiest strategies is choosing the right cabin location. Midship cabins on lower decks experience the least motion because they close to the ship's center of gravity. Avoiding cabins at the very front or very back can make a big difference. Getting fresh air, staying hydrated, and avoiding heavy meals when you first board can also keep your stomach settled. The cruise industry has also made major improvements to reduce motion. Stabilizing fins underneath the ship automatically adjust to the ocean's movement, keeping the vessel as level as possible. Weather forecasting and navigation technology help captains avoid rough seas altogether. In fact, cruise ships can change routes or adjust speed whenever necessary to keep conditions comfortable for passengers. People often imagine huge waves crashing over the deck, but the reality is that most cruises sail in calm, predictable waters, especially in popular regions like the Caribbean or Mediterranean. If you're someone who still worries, there are plenty of easy remedies. Ginger candies, sea bands, acupressure bracelets, and light snacks can work wonders. Over-the-counter motion sickness medications are also effective and widely used, but most passengers never need them. Another insider tip is to spend time outside looking toward the horizon when you first feel uneasy. This helps your brain sync up what your eyes see with the movement your body feels. So the idea that everyone gets seasick is simply outdated. The truth is that modern ships are extremely stable, and most people feel completely fine. And if you're someone prone to motion sickness, there are more than enough tools to help you manage it with ease. Don't let this myth stop you from experiencing everything a cruise vacation has to offer. Myth 3, the myth that cruises are boring, is one of the most outdated and inaccurate beliefs out there. Many people imagine sitting around all day staring at the ocean with nothing to do except eat, sleep, and sunbathe. But modern cruise ships are basically floating resorts packed with more entertainment options than many cities. If anything, the biggest problem people face on a cruise is trying to fit everything into their schedule. The idea that there's nothing to do simply doesn't match reality. Today's cruise ships are designed to entertain every type of traveler. If you're an adventure seeker, you'll find activities like zip lines, rock climbing walls, surf simulators, skydiving tunnels, ropes, courses, and massive water slides. If you love entertainment, you can enjoy full-scale musicals, comedy clubs, magic shows, ice skating performances, live music, and themed parties that run late into the night. Food lovers can explore endless dining options from casual buffets and cafes to gourmet specialty restaurants hosted by celebrity chefs. Some ships even offer cooking classes, wine tastings, and experiences like chef's table dinners. For people who love relaxation, cruise ships offer spas, saunas, adults-only retreats, luxury lounges, and peaceful viewing decks where you can unwind. If you're traveling with kids or teens, the onboard youth clubs are filled with activities, games, and supervised fun designed specifically for different age groups. Sports lovers can enjoy basketball courts, mini golf, pickleball, fitness centers, jogging tracks, and tournaments across the ship. And if you're someone who enjoys quiet activities like reading, crafting, or workshops, cruise ships offer libraries, KCE, art galleries, photography classes, trivia games, and enrichment lectures. The entertainment doesn't stop on board. Every port brings a new chance to explore beaches, mountains, culture, history, wildlife, and adventure activities from snorkeling and ATV tours to museum visits and shopping. Each port is like a mini vacation of its own, offering endless possibilities depending on your interests. People often say they're worried they'll feel trapped or confined, but that's another misconception. Cruise ships are enormous. Some are the size of small towns. They're designed to never feel cramped. With pools, lounges, theaters, restaurants, and open spaces spread across multiple decks, there's always somewhere new to go. For travelers who like structure, the daily schedule is filled with events from morning till night. And for those who prefer to take things slow, you can simply relax and do nothing at all. The freedom is part of what makes cruising special, so the idea that cruises are boring is simply not true. Whether you love adventure, relaxation, food, nightlife, or cultural experiences, cruises offer something for everyone. The real challenge isn't finding something to do, it's deciding what to do next. YTH4. The belief that cruises are only for older people is a myth that refuses to die, mostly because decades ago, cruising was marketed heavily to retirees. Back then, ships were smaller, entertainment was simpler, and the atmosphere was more relaxed. But the cruise industry has evolved dramatically. Today's ships attract people of every age, lifestyle, and background. Modern cruising is designed to appeal to families, young adults, solo travelers, adventure seekers, couples, and groups of friends. The idea that cruising is a senior vacation simply doesn't match the reality of what's on board today. Many cruise lines offer themes, activities, and experiences specifically targeted toward younger audiences. You'll find DJs, nightclubs, rooftop bars, silent discos, pool parties, and late-night lounges. Younger travelers love the high-energy atmosphere of ships filled with music, games, social meets, and adventure activities. Cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and Virgin Voyages focus heavily on creating vibrant, youthful environments that feel more like resorts or lifestyle retreats than traditional cruises. Families with kids and teens are also a major part of the modern cruise demographic. Ships now come with water parks, character meet, creeks, clubs, teen zones, and family-friendly entertainment. Parents love cruising because everything is in one place and safe, while kids love the endless activities designed just for them. Solo travelers are another growing group. Cruise lines are building studio cabins without single supplement fees and offering social events exclusively for solo guests. This completely changes the idea that cruising is only for couples or groups. In fact, many solo travelers report that cruising is one of the easiest ways to meet people. Adventure lovers and young adults are drawn to itineraries that include destinations offering outdoor activities like snorkeling, parasailing, kayaking, hiking, ATV tours, and cultural excursions. The combination of an exciting port during the day and lively entertainment at night gives cruises a balanced appeal that suits younger travelers perfectly. And yes, cruises still attract older adults, but that's because cruising's comfortable, safe, accessible, and enjoyable for everyone. The presence of older passengers doesn't make cruising an old-person vacation any more than having families makes it a kids-only trip. Large ships are designed to separate experiences so everyone can enjoy what they like. Adults-only sections, teen-only lounges, and family areas ensure that different groups all have their own spaces. One of the biggest reasons this myth persists is because people picture slow-paced ocean crossings and quiet evenings. But that's just one type of cruise. There are party cruises, adventure cruises, luxury cruises, family cruises, wildlife cruises, foodie cruises, and everything in between. The diversity of cruising today is what makes it so appealing. So no, cruises are absolutely not just for older people. They're for anyone who wants a fun, relaxing, exciting, memorable vacation with endless activities and experiences tailored to every age group. Myth 5. The myth that cruise ships aren't safe is one of the most damaging misconceptions fueled by dramatic news headlines, movies that exaggerate disasters, and viral stories that get shared out of context. But the truth is that cruise ships are among the safest forms of travel in the world. They operate under strict international regulations, undergo constant inspections, train their crews for every type of emergency, and use high-tech systems to ensure passenger safety at all times. Over 20 million people cruise every year, and serious incidents are incredibly rare. Safety begins long before the ship even leaves port. Cruise lines must meet strict engineering, construction, and operational standards set by international maritime organizations. Every ship is built with multiple backup systems: power, navigation, fire protection, communication, and more. The crew is trained regularly in evacuation procedures, firefighting, crowd management, and first aid. These drills aren't just formalities. They're thorough routines designed to ensure that in the unlikely event something happens, everyone knows exactly what to do. Weather is another big concern for first-time cruisers, but modern ships are equipped with advanced weather tracking and satellite technology. Captains can reroute or adjust speed at any time to avoid storms, rough seas, or unsafe conditions. Cruise lines have entire teams on land monitoring weather patterns 24/7, making sure ships stay in calm and stable environments. That's why most passengers experience nothing more than mild waves their entire trip. Security is equally robust. Ships use cameras, trained security teams, ID scanners, controlled access points, and screening similar to airports. Contrary to myths, you can't easily fall off of ship railings or high. Areas are monitored, and safety barriers are designed to prevent accidents. Crime rates on cruise ships are extremely low compared to land-based vacations, and the environment on board is closely monitored. Fire safety is another area where ships excel. Modern cruise ships are built with fire-resistant materials, automatic sprinkler systems, heat detectors, fire safety zones that can seal off sections to prevent spread. The crew trains constantly for fire response, making them better prepared than most hotel staff on land. For health and medical safety, ships have onboard medical centers staffed with doctors and nurses capable of handling emergencies. They have pharmacies, diagnostic equipment, and evacuation procedures if someone needs advanced care. Hygiene standards are also strict, with constant cleaning, sanitation stations, and health protocols in place. The perception that cruise ships aren't safe often comes from isolated incidents that receive heavy media attention. But when you compare cruising to driving, flying, or even staying at a resort, cruising consistently ranks among the safest vacation options out there. The structure, training, and systems in place are specifically designed to keep passengers protected. So yes, cruising is extremely safe. You're traveling on a floating city built with advanced technology, monitored by trained professionals, and supported by international regulations that prioritize passenger welfare. Once people understand this, the fear disappears and they can finally relax and enjoy what cruising is truly about. And there you have it, 5 of the biggest cruise myths completely debunked. The truth is, cruising isn't overpriced, it isn't dangerous, and it definitely isn't boring or meant only for a certain type of traveler. Modern cruise ships are safe, exciting, affordable, and packed with experiences you simply can't find anywhere else. If you've been holding back because of something someone told you years ago, let this be your sign to finally take that step and discover the real world of cruising for yourself. Whether you want adventure, relaxation, great food, amazing destinations, or just an unforgettable escape, there's a cruise out there that fits your style and your budget. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment about which myths surprised you the most. And if you've heard any other cruise myths you want exposed, tell me below and I'll make a part 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next deckside adventure.